Hey everyone, before we start the show, it's Dave here with an exciting announcement, and that is we are back doing live podcasts. So happy to share the news with you that we are doing 4 shows at the European Beer Cafe right here in Melbourne, 4 Sundays at 8:30 p.m. March 28, April 4, April 11 and April 18. First time we'll be together in front of an audience in such a long time, and we hope you can join us. We did a Patreon pre-sale over the weekend, and we've already sold over half the tickets to every single show. So if you want to get in quick, including with a season pass where you get 4 shows for the price of 3. You can buy tickets by clicking the link in the description of this episode. We cannot wait.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnicky, and as always, I'm here with Jess Perkins and Matt Stewart.
Hello, I'm Jess Perkins.
Hello, I'm Matt Stewart. So, Dave, I don't know, have you queued up a song to explain what the show is?
No, I'll have to do it manually.
Okay.
By using my voice, that is. So thank you so much for listening to the show. It is your first ever time, and if not, let's have a brief recap of what we do here. We take it in turns to report on a topic, often but not always suggested by a listener. It is Matt's turn this week to report. Jess and I have no idea what he's going to talk about for the next couple of hours. And to get us onto that topic, he asks a little question.
Yes. And the question goes like this. Mm-hmm. What event is said to have lit the spark of World War One?
Oh my God.
Would that be the time that they lit that giant rocket?
Yeah. Yes.
And then it exploded and it said,
fuck you.
yeah, fuck you. And then both sides went, are they talking to me?
Yeah.
And then the other side went, are they talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Belgium lit the spark and then laughed like behind everyone's back.
Yeah. And then that's what happened. So, you know.
No, that wasn't it.
Would this be the assassination?
Yeah, I was going to say, if you need a clue, how about this? It's the assassination of which Archduke?
Franz Ferdinand.
That's it. The assassination of
Take
Archduke
me out.
Franz
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Ferdinand.
Da-da-da-da-da. I saw Franz Ferdinand live a couple of years ago.
What were they like?
They were at, what's that Melbourne venue that everybody hates?
Festival Hall.
Thank you. It was at Festival Hall, and it was Franz Ferdinand and MGMT. Bit of a weird combo.
Okay, who went on first?
Franz.
And then do they play this one? Michael, something, Michael.
I don't know. Probably not.
You know that one?
I don't know. But anyway, they were good, but the venue, the acoustics do suck quite a bit.
Beatles played there.
I know they did.
Now it's owned by a big religious company.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I shan't be going back there then.
You hate religion.
A big religious company? Not for me, thank you.
Like not a religious company, a religion.
Oh, I
guess
see.
they're probably a company.
Yeah,
as well.
I guess in a lot of ways. Anyway.
So this has been suggested by Josh Johnson from Pennsylvania, Evan Lloyd from Derbyshire, Jack Rasmussen from Salt Lake City, and Alex Ammerman, also from Pennsylvania.
Wow.
And Alex said this when he suggested it. Do you like murder and intrigue? This is a story about a small political activist group that changed the history of the entire world.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, hopefully I can do the story justice.
Yeah, that's really sucked me right in.
Yes, okay. Well, before we get
Right
to
off.
the assassination, you might want to know, who was this Franz Ferdinand?
I do want to know.
I mean, he was an Archduke.
I know nothing.
Okay. Well, let me tell you about him.
Okay.
I didn't know anything about him either.
Any connection to the band? Or coincidence?
Pure coincidence.
Wow.
Right, they all just, let's just say a letter each. F. All right. R. A.
I used
M.
a Ouija board. So Archduke Franz Ferdinand was born in 1863 in Graz, Austria. He was the eldest son of Archduke Karl Ludwig and Princess Maria Annunziata of Bourbon Two Sicilies, which is a great name.
Bourbon Two Sicilies.
Yeah, that's all part of her surname, I suppose.
Wow.
I don't really get the naming conventions back then. There's probably some explanation for it, but doesn't seem like any of the immediate relatives have the same surnames necessarily. But anyway. Archduke Karl Ludwig was the brother of the Emperor of Austria-Hungary, Franz Joseph. There's another example. So, two brothers, totally different names. And the son also. So you've got Ludwig is the brother of Joseph, their surnames, and Ludwig's son's surname is Ferdinand. So I'm guessing it's something else. Anyway, tweet at me. I'll look forward to the answer. So yeah, he's the nephew of the king, the emperor. ThoughtCo.com writes, as a monarch, Franz Joseph was a staunch traditionalist and remained so well into the latter years of his reign. Despite the many great changes that had led to the weakening of monarchical power in other parts of Europe, he resisted all notions of political reform and viewed himself as the last of the old-school European monarchs. He's like, I'm the only one who does it in the real OG way.
They don't make them like me anymore.
No, everyone's sold out.
Everybody wants to, like, I don't know, move with the times or some shit.
Not
me.
You know how fashion's changed? I'm still wearing clothes from the 1940s.
Yeah.
Which is weird. That is in the future.
I'm still actually wearing caveman loincloths.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because I
haven't
actually
worn
keep
a
it
shirt in my
real.
life.
Yeah. So, whatever, losers.
It was good enough for Adam. It's good enough for me. Give me that leaf.
According to biography.com, Franz Ferdinand began his military career at the age of 12. I mean, a bit late for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, God.
I like kids being kids, so I say start at 12.
Yeah. Okay.
I like kids being good. Start at 1.
Okay. Yeah,
That's
if you
where
want to
Dave
be
and
at
I
the
differ.
top.
That's why we can't raise children together. We've had many, but we raise them separately.
Yeah, I'm like,
Split
all right,
them up.
this one is going into the academy. And Jess is like, not this one.
This one's going to be my little art friend. I let all my children wear leaves and express themselves however they please.
They should do a reality show like the Dance Mums, but be like military mums.
Oh,
Military Mums is a
okay.
good title.
Yeah. Just an idea, just $1 million idea. So joined the military at 12, was sort of worked his way up through the ranks. I'm sure no nepotism involved. And
I know, imagine him being a private and then being like telling him what to do, and he's like, mate, I'm like the Archduke. And
Yeah.
like, oh, yes, sorry about that.
yeah,
sorry, you
sorry.
don't have to swap this poop deck.
and he became Major General at the age of 31.
Okay.
It took him ages.
No, that's right. I think you're going to say 13.
Yeah.
He worked his way up over the next 11 months.
After the deaths of his father in 1896, also the year that the VFL-AFL was about to begin.
Coincidence?
The year it was about to
About to
begin.
begin. So the year before?
Yeah.
The year that was...
I thought it was the same year, and then I, caught myself. I think that's... Anyway.
Caught yourself in a lie.
Yeah.
Just
can't lie to you.
just 70 years before the Saints won their one and only premiership.
Yeah. Just round the corner. So his dad died in 1896, and Franz Joseph's only son, Crown Prince Rudolf, died in 1889. That meant that Franz Ferdinand had all of a sudden become the next in line to the Austro-Hungarian throne.
Wow.
The emperor wasn't too happy about this, as Franz Ferdinand's thoughts on how the empire should be ruled were very different to his old school ways. He was a real new school guy.
So Franz Ferdinand would, like, wear shirts, for example.
Oh, yeah.
He wore clothing.
He wore clothes from the 1950s.
What?
Yeah.
So he looked like a weird spaceman
Yeah,
to his peers.
He was wearing basically all foil.
Yeah.
Aluminium foil wrap.
Is that how you say aluminum? Lol. Lol, lol, lol.
Yes. As ThoughtCo, right?
I just thought it would be better if I did it rather than reading it in a tweet. You know, it comes from someone you love and who doesn't mind you.
But to be fair, the tweet would say, did you just say aluminium as aluminium?
No, it's spelled differently over there.
No, it's
Yeah, it
not.
is.
Or do they also spell it incorrectly?
They spell it like aluminum.
That's wild. I thought it was always spelt the same and they were ignoring some letters.
As ThoughtCo.com writes, Franz Ferdinand had little patience for the ostentatious pomp of the ruling Habsburg class, which is his family, basically. He's from the, I don't know how to pronounce it. This might be Habsburg or Habsburg. That's the house. And
Right.
they've been, for centuries, a version of that house had ruled big chunks of Europe.
Wow.
Nor did he agree with his uncle's harsh stance towards the rights and autonomy of the empire's various national groups. He felt the old system, which allowed ethnic Germans and ethnic Hungarians to dominate, could not last. Franz Ferdinand believed the best way to regain the population's loyalty was to make concessions towards the Slavs and other ethnicities by allowing them greater sovereignty and influence over the governance of the empire. He envisioned the eventual emergence of a type of United States of Greater Austria, with the empire's many nationalities sharing equally in its administration. So there's all, like, because it was an empire throughout Europe, there was all sorts of nations included in it, a lot of backgrounds, and he was supposedly trying to make it a bit more equal, and that sort of sounded pretty noble. But then on history.com it says that Ferdinand believed the Serbs to be pigs, thieves, murderers, and scoundrels.
Look, that's hard to get past.
Yeah. But I mean, the Serbia was a country bordering the empire, I think, but there were people with shared backgrounds inside his empire. So it's obviously, I don't know how publicly he was saying these things. I imagine not super publicly, because that wouldn't have gone down all that well. But yeah.
See, bloody politicians and royals always lying.
Yeah.
Tell us what you really think,
Yeah.
even if it's terrible.
Have the guts to say what we're all thinking.
No, now hang on.
Because we're all thinking the same thing, if you follow that logic. So it's probably fair to say that it was less noble and more pragmatic that he was saying, I want to spread, I want to sort of spread equality a bit more throughout the empire.
But that's basically to keep the empire intact.
Yeah, exactly. As ThoughtCo continues, he believed strongly that this was the only way to keep the empire together and to secure his own future as its ruler.
Right, not like everyone deserves rights. It's like, well, we need to give everyone a couple of rights, otherwise I think I'm for the chop here.
Yeah.
Seen
Yeah,
revolutions before.
It's smart, but yeah, it's not just like he's going, I believe everyone should be equal. I believe if they're not, they might not like me that much. The result of these disagreements was that the emperor had little love for his nephew and bristled at the thought of Franz Ferdinand's future ascension to the throne. He hated the idea.
Absolutely bristled.
He bristled. Austria-Hungary was one of Europe's major powers at the time, having been formed as a dual monarchy after the Austro-Hungarian Compromise of 1867. I found all this stuff fascinating. I've spent this week going down rabbit holes all over the place and going, oh, this isn't quite relevant to the report. I'm having to pull myself back. But, man, it's you understand why some people just get obsessed with the lead up to the World War and European history from these years. It's so complex. I mean, it's always complex, I suppose, but just a wild time. So many nations forming and then empires growing and shrinking and all sorts of stuff. By the time of the assassination, it took in modern-day Austria, Hungary. Those two I reckon you could have guessed, as it was called Austria-Hungary.
I don't know.
Okay.
I am stupid.
Also, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, as well as parts of Italy, a small part, a little part of Serbia, Romania, Ukraine, and Poland.
Wow.
It was the second largest country in Europe at the time by area after the Russian Empire, and the third most populous after Russia and the German Empire.
Huge.
But the German Empire had only just formed a few decades earlier as well, which I find fascinating.
Right.
Only in like the mid-1800s sometime. They had all these different empires, including Prussia, which I always found like what is this Prussia? But Prussia was a big chunk of what is Germany now.
Yep.
Dave, I know this is where your family's from, so you bloody preaching to the choir
Thank
here.
you so much.
He's really saying that for me because I'm staring at him glassy-eyed.
What?
But I mean, I would have been staring at you glassy-eyed if you were saying this to me a week ago.
Yeah. See, that's the power of education.
Yeah.
You can not feel like an idiot
Uh-huh.
if you just educate.
Yeah. Like how I said preaching to the choir before, which was a phrase that was not relevant at the time of saying.
You know,
But
like that.
I could have got away with it if this was just a conversation at a bar somewhere.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, this is being recorded.
Nah, I would have followed you to the toilet and said, actually, mate, when you said preaching to the choir back then, what did you mean by that?
It was the second... Oh, yeah. Okay, so second largest and third most populous.
Yep.
So it's big. It's a big,
Huge.
big country. According to Thought Co. again, the empire boasted a multi-ethnic population made up of at least 10 different nationalities. These included Austrian Germans, Hungarians, Czechs, Slovaks, Poles, Romanians, Italians, Croats,
Croat is what I've
Croats.
heard.
and Bosnians, among others. But the empire was far from united. Its various ethnic groups and nationalities were constantly competing for control in a state that was predominantly ruled by the Austrian-German Habsburg family, of which Franz was a member, and the Hungarian nationals, both of whom resisted sharing the majority of the power and influence with the rest of the empire's diverse population. For many of those outside the German-Hungarian ruling class, the empire represented nothing more than an undemocratic, repressive regime occupying their traditional homelands. Nationalistic sentiments and struggles for autonomy often resulted in public riots and clashes with the ruling authorities. So there's a lot of tension. It's building and building over generations. I'll get into these tensions later, but first I'll tell you about the tensions between Ferdinand and his emperor uncle. I mean, I already touched on them a little bit, but there was one thing that happened that really brought it to a head a little bit. And this is from biography.com. In 1894, Franz Ferdinand met Countess Sophia Triptych, and the couple quickly fell in love. However, marriage to a Habsburg required that one be a member of a reigning or formerly reigning dynasty of Europe, and the Triptychs were neither. That was just some lowly noble family from Czech Republic.
Get out of here.
So, do they do a questionnaire? So, currently, are you ruling any kingdoms? No. Previously, were you ruling any kingdoms?
Uh-huh.
No. Okay. Well, I'm afraid the door list does not have your name on it tonight. He's just waiting inside lonely night after night.
So sorry.
The deeply in love Franz Ferdinand refused to marry anyone else, so the couple kept their relationship secret. After the family was informed of their relationship, Emperor Franz Joseph refused to give his permission to the marriage. Eventually, several influential European leaders, including Pope Leo XIII, argued on behalf of the lovesick Franz.
Oh my God.
If you got the Pope in your corner, that's got to be a good sign.
Yeah. And it's also very funny that other people are weighing in and being like, come on.
Come on. Hey, it's love.
They're cute. They're cute.
She's not from a ruling family, but she's a countess.
I can't think of a couple that I would really actively get behind.
If you were the Pope.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's say I'm the Pope.
Yeah. You're the Pope.
You can't think of a couple you'd fight for.
Nah.
Not even your own relationship.
Nah.
What does that say?
Not even your own.
What do you mean?
Oh, God, if I was the Pope, I would not approve of this.
I wouldn't let this happen. That's for sure. Luckily, I'm no Pope, baby.
I think the Pope, according to this article anyway on biography.com, was less about, hey, love's love, baby.
No, I reckon
Hey, come on.
that's the vibe I'm getting from your storytelling.
Look at that. They got it.
They got it. Look at the
got it.
spark. That's a once-in-a-lifetime kind
Those
of
two
thing.
will lighten up the room.
They called him the free love Pope.
But
Free love Leo, they said. They called him.
They called him that.
the Pope did think that the disagreement between the uncle and nephew was undermining the stability of the monarchy. Franz Joseph finally agreed on the condition that no descendants of Franz and his new wife succeed to the throne. The couple married on July the 1st, 1900. So
hang on. I can marry the person I want to marry, and my kids don't have to have the pressure of being the reigning monarch. Oh, no.
that sounds like a sweet deal.
Oh, gee, let me think. Where do I fucking sign? Are you kidding me? I feel so bad for the royal family. You know, I look at William, I'm like, you seem nice. What? You're going to have to be the king someday. That's going to suck.
Yeah.
And then you look at little George, you're like, nah, man.
Which kingdom's this one?
Disneyland.
Disney.
Wow.
Wow, and they've got a lot of princes and princesses.
I know. So imagine being the king. Oof.
Yeah. Oof.
Pressure.
Jeez Louise.
So, yeah, I'd be signing that deal. Oh, okay, I get to be with the person I want to be with, and I don't have to put the pressure on my children? Oh, no.
So the emperor...
Is that what he thought?
Yeah, basically. But despite agreeing to the wedding, he did not attend. which is really just thumbing, you know.
But did he RSVP and then not turn
Yeah,
up?
he really dogged
that's
him. on that.
fucked.
Yeah, because they probably would have waited for the Emperor to arrive.
Yeah.
Did he get him a present from the registry though?
No.
Oh,
What
you mean he went
dog.
solo and just bought something off the registry?
No, not even.
Didn't even put in for a toaster.
What?
No, not
even
You
the
are joking.
wishing well?
He did.
envelope
he did
in the
tick
wishing well?
beef though, on the menu. So there was one extra steak
What
gone
a fucking... And
begging.
steaks are not cheap.
Yeah, that's the most expensive item. He could have gone
Chicken or
something
fish.
else.
It was like $40 per head.
Shit.
Is that
Fucking
about right?
hell. I don't know. I don't host events.
Haven't you hosted a wedding?
No,
Jeez, have you lived?
sadly not.
Yeah. You just don't believe in it.
Jess is putting up her ring finger. Oh no, that's not your ring finger. That's your middle finger.
Saying, shut up, Matt.
So even though he didn't attend it, that wasn't the end of his sort of thumbing his nose to the wedding.
Oh, bloody.
Due to Sophie's lower standing, he gave the marriage little respect. According to History.com, Sophie also became the victim of countless petty slights.
Oh, gosh.
At imperial banquets, for example, she entered each room last and was then seated far away from her husband at the dinner table.
Do they let
That's weird. Isn't it such weird?
She like...
Imagine that being the king leading an empire. Sit her down there at the other end. That'll show her.
She's at the kids' table
Yeah.
every time.
Imagine that being your in-laws, you know?
Yeah.
I just feel like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
I'll stay home.
I can go back to my own castle.
Yeah.
Probably. Despite the strange relationship between the Emperor and Franz Ferdinand, because I don't know like what the surname is or whatever, it's hard to break his name down. I could say Franz or Ferdinand, I guess, and you know what I'm talking about.
No, I keep saying Franz Ferdinand.
Okay.
It's fun when you just insist on saying someone's full name.
Yeah. Isn't it, Dave Warnocky?
Thank you, Jessica Perkins.
Oh, brutal.
So despite this strange relationship, the Archduke Franz Ferdinand remained the heir to the throne, making him one of the most important people in one of the big European powers of the time.
And he still can't get no respect for his wife.
Yeah. I guess he's just waiting for the uncle to die, and then all of a sudden they know she'll get all the respect because he'll be the boss.
I mean, we've all got an uncle we're waiting to die, so we get respect. You know, I can relate to that.
But I think, like, basically the deal was that she wouldn't get any of the stuff either. Like, it's not just the kids wouldn't be able to rule.
Yeah.
She also she wouldn't be the queen, I don't think, and stuff like that as well.
Wow. That's
Right.
brutal.
Yeah,
I
it
mean-
just seems so unnecessary, but there's like, you know, if you don't marry one of these three people in the
Yeah.
world, then,
Who's probably also your cousin.
yeah, which we'll talk about soon, that there was a lot of that.
I do enjoy the idea, though, that you're just thinking, great, well, as soon as you're gone, I'm the emperor, and whatever I say, fucking goes.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Oh, what's that? My kid is next in line? Yeah. Okay. That's back on.
Yeah.
Day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does feel like the
Like
kind of thing. that's
Biden signing all the
repealing.
executive orders. It's like, well, just repeal all the shit that this old psycho said.
Yeah.
My uncle,
Yeah.
love him.
Rest in peace,
But-
psycho.
The relationship between the powers, these big European powers, were very delicately balanced. There was no one major power at the time. Instead, there were 5 big powers. And they were kind of split into 2 complicated
Electricity.
alliances.
Gas.
Yep.
Water.
Water.
Hydro.
Hydro.
Yeah.
Solar.
You splitting water and hydro as 2 different powers?
Water/hydro.
Okay.
Solar. Did you say solar?
Solar.
Radiation. Radioactivity. Nuclear power.
Heart. Go planet.
Yeah. The worst. I'm so sorry, Marty, but what was that?
That would be is what I would choose.
When you
Really? As a kid watching Captain Planet, you chose heart.
Yeah, I'm all about emotional intelligence.
That's beautiful.
I just like to connect to people, person to person.
As a ginger, I had to go fire.
Sure.
I mean,
The
I love that
red-headed,
you're like
mulleted man, whatever his name was,
Yeah.
Greg. Or whatever.
Wheeler.
Probably Greg.
It was Wheeler.
Greg, I think it was.
His name was Wheeler.
No, I think it was Greg.
Greg Wheeler.
Greg
Huh,
Wheeler.
There you go.
But everyone just called him Greg.
Yeah.
By his first name, as is custom. You call people by their names. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Dave, you probably were like, I'll be the monkey or something. Fuck.
Yeah, Abu.
You
Pretty
thinking of Aladdin?
Or Bab. He's had a name like that, Marty's monkey. You keep talking and I'll look that up.
So there were 5 big powers, and
I'm
what
just
you
trying to
said
add
was
little
wrong.
pizzazz.
Okay, well, everyone's enjoying your pizzazz, I'm sure.
Thank you. That's literally the point of the show.
Live feedback. Love that.
You're giving pizzazz, and I'm giving a sazz. So the five big powers were split into two complicated alliances. On the one side, there was Russia, France, and Britain. And on the other side, Austria-Hungary and the relatively new country of Germany. Amazingly, of these five powers, three were ruled by grandsons of Britain's Queen Victoria.
So that makes them all cousins.
That's right. According to the BBC, Queen Victoria was sometimes called the Grandmama of Europe, and there was hardly a continental court that did not boast at least one of her relations. During World War I, there were no less than 7 of the old Queen's direct descendants and 2 more of her Coburg relations on European thrones.
Far
Isn't that
out.
wild?
That's nuts.
But 3 were the big of the big players, 3 of the big powers. So for the rulers of the world's 3 greatest nations, this is still from BBC, bigging themselves up a little bit. One of those B's is for butts. I think one of the others is British. British butts.
Come.
British butts and cucks. And cum. That the third C.
Is that the BBC?
There's another. And the other C.
It's the BBC.
Sorry?
BBC.
But somehow it has 3 C's based on what I just said.
BBC.
Yeah.
The third one in a bracket.
Yeah, the third one's a typo.
BBC. Is that something?
So this is still from the BBC. For the rulers of the world's 3 greatest nations, King George V of Great Britain and Tsar Nicholas II of Russia on the one hand, and the German Kaiser Wilhelm II on the other, they were not simply cousins, they were first cousins. If their grandmother Queen Victoria had still been alive, said the Kaiser, she would never have allowed them to go into war with each other.
At Christmas being like, apologise. Apologise now.
Enough.
You stop this world war right now.
She has a big T-shirt that has 3 heads in it, and she makes them all wear it. It's a friendship T-shirt, and they can take it off after they've made up.
And the 4 other monarchs are like, why don't where's our T-shirt?
She's like, well,
Yeah, well,
here it
being
is.
one of the 3
She has-
great
Exactly.
nations.
What do you want her to do? Have like a fucking T-shirt with 7 heads? Don't be ridiculous, Matt. It's a 3-headed T-shirt.
come on. We've all heard of that. Definitely, that's a thing.
Come on.
So she died in 1901, so a year after the wedding. Apart from Germany, Britain and Russia, the other European thrones her direct descendants sat on were in Greece, Romania, Spain and Norway.
Oh, who's heard of any of them?
As places, yeah. What?
Yeah.
So are they,
Norway.
whatever happened to that one?
Norway. That's silly. That's not a thing. Norway.
Someone punking you, Matt?
You're making shit up, man.
No, I read this. On
This
the
is
internet.
supposed to be a fact-based comedy podcast. You're leaning a little heavily into the comedy, my friend,
that's
by
right.
making up bullshit.
Is that supposed to sound like no way?
Yeah, no way. Like, no way. Is that what it's supposed
Sorry,
to be?
I was trying to punk you guys.
Yeah, God.
Yes.
You have to get up
We got
pretty
it.
early to get us. We know
And
our
it's actually
geography.
pretty late right now.
That's
So-
According to the Imperial War Museum website, the creation of a unified Germany in 1871, I said somewhere in the mid-1800s, 1871 to be precise, had disturbed the old balance of power in Europe. Fear of Germany encouraged France and Russia to form an alliance in 1894. This pushed Germany into closer alliance with its neighbour, the Austro-Hungarian Empire. During the 1900s, a dangerous rift arose between Russia and Austria-Hungary, who had conflicting ambitions in southeastern Europe, which is sort of coming. That's a lot of that tension is where the old assassination happened and what led to it. This conflict was one of the many keys to the following events. According to Britannica, Franz Ferdinand tried to restore the Austro-Russian understanding without endangering the alliance with Germany, without luck, obviously. And from 1906 onward, Franz Ferdinand's influence in military matters grew. On October the 6th, 1908, Austria-Hungary announced it was annexing Bosnia and Herzegovina, officially taking it over from the faltering Ottoman Empire. So that they'd sort of been in there for a little while, maybe a few decades. But now, with the Ottoman Empire starting to crumble, they went in and officially annexed it, saying this is now part of our empire. Franz Ferdinand apparently opposed the annexation, thinking it would make these tense political situations worse, but it went ahead regardless.
I'm imagining a lot of paperwork.
Oh yeah, annexing a country
Yeah.
against a lot of the inhabitants' will.
Yeah, and then you gotta update your maps all the time.
Yeah,
Oh, great time to be a cartographer.
Yeah, nowadays it's like, well, I mean, do you want it lots of different colours or mostly green?
Yeah, that's
know?
right. How many times can I redesign this map?
Yeah. So that's, it's a tough
When
industry.
South Sudan came in a couple of years ago, the globe makers were like, finally, thank goodness,
God.
we're going to have to redo it.
I was literally putting a padlock on the factory. We were going under.
Yeah, we were out.
We were out.
Everyone's got a
And then
globe.
I got the phone call and I called back all the staff who were walking away, holding their hats, sadly. And I said, guys, come back. We've got globes to make. And they cheered and they threw their hats up in the air. It was beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, that was me when I owned a globe factory.
Wow.
Yeah, I sold the globe factory. It's doing incredibly well. I'm rich.
Whoa, you sold it at the right time.
Yeah.
Perfect work.
Savvy businesswoman. Like I said, I'm rich. Don't look into it.
Yeah, we don't need to see proof.
This is from history.com, and this is about the annexation. When the rebellion by the Committee of Union and Progress, the so-called Young Turks, I knew that term, Young Turks, but I didn't know that was where it came from. They took the Ottoman government by storm in 1908. Baron Alois von Arenthal, who was the foreign minister of Austria-Hungary, saw his empire's chance to assert its dominance in the Balkans. So Franz Ferdinand's like, don't do this, but Baron Alois von Arenthal thought, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, this is my shot.
So he saw the Sultan's weakness there. He saw this as the opportunity, but also Russia, their great rival for power in the Balkans, was also reeling. It had just been done in the Russo-Japanese War, an internal revolution of 1905. So Russia was on the back foot a little bit after a big loss in Japan. Jeez, there was a lot of wars.
Yeah.
I never knew about a Russian-Japanese war.
No.
No, I don't think so either.
But again, I'm stupid. So I don't know much.
Well, if you don't know about a war in 1905, you are stupid.
I'm stupid.
I'm glad you said
Should
it.
I go back to school, Billy Madison style?
Yeah, if you want to take over the empire,
Yes. Of course.
well then, yeah, you should.
Okay, well, that's settled.
That's settled. Are you going to go now? Or you going to wait till the end of the episode?
I might wait until it's morning
Okay, great.
at appropriate school time.
Okay.
But yeah, then I'll go to school.
So the announcement in October of 1908 of Austria-Hungary's annexation of Bosnia and Herzegovina upset the fragile balance of power in the Balkans, enraging Serbia and pan-Slavic nationalists throughout Europe. Though weakened Russia was forced to submit, to its humiliation, its Foreign Office still viewed Austria-Hungary's actions as overly aggressive and threatening. Russia's response was to encourage pro-Russian, anti-Austrian sentiment in Serbia and other Balkan provinces, provoking Austrian fears of Slavic expansionism in the region. So they just sort of had a bit of a low-key campaign. They couldn't fight, in the old school guns kind of way. So
But
they
they're
were
a bit
just
like-
sending messages, whispering.
Yeah, Austria's shit, pass it on.
Austria's
Yeah.
They suck. You guys should boo
I
them.
heard they still wet the bed
Yeah, that sort of stuff, I reckon.
and had to get their mum to change their sheets in the middle of the night.
Nah. That
Yeah.
was official comment from Austria-Hungary. Nah,
Nah, I don't.
No, it didn't happen like that.
Mum, tell them.
I can't. So they were starting to fear Austria-Hungary were starting to fear the Slavic expansionism, and it sounds like these fears were pretty justified, according to the Thought Co article. The majority of Serbs were staunch nationalists, and the Serbian kingdom, just off to the side of Austria-Hungary, saw itself as the great hope for the sovereignty of Slavic peoples in the Balkans. The great dream of Serbian nationalists was the unification of Slavic peoples into a single sovereign state. They wanted to grow Serbia basically to have its big empire with all the Slavic nations inside, rather than bowing down to this Austrian-Hungary empire. Pro-Austrian monarchs had ruled Serbia since the late 19th century, but the last of these monarchs, King Alexander I of Serbia, was deposed and executed in 1903.
Oh dear.
So it's interesting. He was a Serbian king, but he was faithful to the Austrian Empire. But the people under him didn't love that.
Yeah.
And eventually that led to a coup d'etat.
How long for?
Let's say 2 days.
Oh,
Safe to assume.
Safe to
2-day
assume
coup
a 2-day
d'etat.
coup d'etat.
I believe so.
the best length.
Which is now known as the May coup. Among the others killed in it were the Queen, the Prime Minister, and the Minister of the Army. It was a full-on coup d'etat.
Wow.
Whoa.
I reckon it's probably longer than 2 days around them all.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I think it was pretty quick.
22-day coup d'etat?
Yeah, that's
That's
good.
even better. This next little bit about the coup d'etat is from this great resource called wikipedia.org.
Okay.
And it's got great info on there. Do recommend looking it up. Kind of pretty much on anything. But it's kind of underrated.
For example, you could look up Captain Planet and find out that the monkey's name is in fact Suki or Suchi.
Yeah.
My apologies.
You could do that. You
boo.
should. Why don't you? Because then you could find out if that's true or not.
That is from wikipedia.org.
Wow. Fantastic stuff.
Great source.
This is also from wikipedia.org. The royal couple's murder upset and shocked most of Europe. Which I think it seems fair enough.
Look, I'm shocked 100 years later.
The king and queen have been killed.
Yeah, that would be... I reckon that would make easily top 5 pages of a newspaper now.
Yeah.
Really? So page 5.
Easily.
Somewhere, yeah.
No,
Might
page
even
1.
be 3.
Page 1 is still a sailor on white goods at Harvey Norman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Well, the newspaper industry isn't doing so
But
well.
whatever Eddie McGuire
So the
has done.
first 4 pages are ads.
Yeah.
But that 5th page
But
will have
yeah.
this royal couple's murder.
And then another 4 pages of ads.
Exactly.
So a lot of shock through Europe, but many Serbs reacted enthusiastically. Russia immediately recognized the National Assembly's decision declaring Peter I as the next king of Serbia and expressed satisfaction that the interdynastic intrigues, which had plagued the country since the early 19th century, had been brought to an end.
Oh, they were like, well, that's the end of that chapter.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? They're like, well, obviously this violent coup d'etat will... probably that'll be the end of that. I imagine it's smooth sailing from here.
So we've also killed the elected Prime Minister and also the head of the army. But this guy's Peter. Pretty good.
Peter!
Welcome, Pete. Austria-Hungary declared its neutrality on the matter, but privately, policymakers in Vienna expressed hope that Peter's ascension would have a placating effect. They're like, well, now they've got the guy they want in there. Hopefully this will all settle down and
Everyone
they'll just
chills.
happily be a part of our empire now.
Sounds a bit like everyone's hoping. Russia is hoping that as well, right?
Everyone's just
Everyone's
sort of
like,
crossing their fingers.
Well, hopefully we can just put this pillow over our face and when I wake up tomorrow, everything will still be
Do
here.
you sleep
I
with a
don't-
pillow on top of your face, Dave?
Actually, I do.
On top of your face?
Yes.
Because of the eye thing?
Yeah, I don't like light.
So you put a pillow over the top of your face?
In the morning when the light comes in, yes.
Okay.
It would look like you're trying to
Yeah.
put yourself down.
Yeah. Does your girlfriend ever help by pressing it down a little
Yeah,
bit?
yeah.
Is this what you need?
She's like, can you see light? Can you see light now? And I'm
Go
like,
towards the light.
Okay. Interesting.
But I don't think Russia was really hoping that. I think they wanted things to kick off because they wanted to be taking territory down there.
Oh, okay.
This is still from wiki.org. The United Kingdom demanded that the chief conspirators be severely punished, and when the Royal Serbian government neglected to carry out this request, the British severed all diplomatic ties. Several other European nations followed in the UK's footsteps and severed ties as well. King Peter I, lacked the power or authority to punish the conspirators. He also felt a deep sense of obligation towards them, acknowledging that he would not have been able to assume the throne were it not for their actions.
Were it not that they killed his
I love that.
predecessors.
Guys, to be fair, I wouldn't be speaking with you right now if they hadn't done that. So I'm pretty cool with it.
Yeah.
I just feel like I owe them one.
Yeah. You know what? Like, I don't know. They scratch my back, I scratch theirs. You know what I mean?
They cut off that guy's head. They don't
Yeah.
cut mine off, hopefully, because I'm
Yeah.
speaking nicely about them.
I mean, even just that coup d'etat was, it sounded like there's a few different stories about it, but one of them was that they had a safe room, the king and queen, but there was a party or something and their wardrobe was blocking their exit from it, so they ended up, when they stormed the palace, they found them there trapped.
Because of a wardrobe
Because
malfunction.
of a wardrobe malfunction.
Imagine that.
But there was another story that they were hiding in that wardrobe, which seems like there was never going to be an easy escape from that. Like one of them is there was a tunnel and a secret escape out the back, and the other one they were hiding in a cupboard.
Yeah. And
They were
found.
wearing a dressing gown and hanging on a coat hanger, hoping that someone would open it. All clear in here.
Just dressing gowns.
But I mean, all this stuff, like these stories and how frequent they were like these weren't standalone. This wasn't fully out of the blue or anything. There were times where people just got killed. Like this whole story is leading up to a royal being murdered.
Yeah, you really started with a spoiler too.
Yeah, sorry.
It's a bit disappointing. It's like, oh, what's going to happen?
But isn't
I
it-
know.
Don't get too attached.
It's amazing that this, you think of we're living in wild times lately, but it's got nothing on some of this stuff.
Like
Yeah.
history, yeah. Oh, man.
It's weird that humans have so much faith in ourselves to be good, but it's like we've given no evidence.
What
that
a
we
track
can be.
record we have.
Yeah.
Pick a 10-year period of any time in history.
Anytime. It's been shithouse. Like, we really suck.
So the execution was carried out by conspirators believed to have connections to the Black Hand, a secret military society formed in 1901 by officers in the army of the Kingdom of Serbia. So actual officers in the Serbian army. It's one of the most, I don't know, like depending on who you are, you probably see them as goodies or baddies. Probably more people baddies. I don't know. But that name is badass.
Incredible. Did you know of that, Dave, or were you just reacting to a cool sounding name?
Yes, I do know
Yeah,
that name,
okay,
but I
yeah.
believe we will be hearing more from them. But I do also, I was reacting because it is one of the coolest names.
Yeah, it's very cool.
That's how I remember it, because it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, like I'm scared immediately.
Like they were going around the table mentioning, and as soon as that name came up, they went, well, don't even bother with any other suggestion.
And like, am I booking the Black Hand Party Co. to do my child's birthday party? No, it's terrifying. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
for
it's
sure.
very clear immediately that it's scary.
Yeah, I don't know what, because I'm picturing like a black leather glove.
Same.
And
It's strangling you.
Nothing scarier.
just a hand crawling along the table.
Like the
Like
head,
Thing in
in the
Addams
Addams
Family.
Family. But weirdly, like that should have creeped me out. But I liked Thing.
Yeah.
That's what, 'cause he was funny.
He was cute.
Or it was funny, I should say.
It was
Yeah.
funny.
Do they refer to him as a man? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, good point.
And did he ever wear a glove?
But then there's Cousin It as well.
There is Cousin
which is
It.
also funny.
Right.
He sounded so funny.
Yeah. And had a little hat on. That's funny.
I really did enjoy that show a lot.
Yeah.
So to explain the Black Hand a little bit more, this is from ThoughtCo. The aim of the Black Hand was the unification of all southern Slavic peoples into a single Slavic nation state of Yugoslavia, with Serbia as its leading member, and to protect those Slavs and Serbs still living under Austro-Hungarian rule by any means necessary. The group relished in the ethnic and nationalistic strife that had overtaken Austria-Hungary and sought to stoke the flames of its decline. Anything that was potentially bad for its powerful northern neighbour was seen as potentially good for Serbia. The high-ranking Serbian military positions of its founding members put the group in a unique position to carry out clandestine operations deep within Austria-Hungary itself. Love clandestine as a word. This included Army Colonel Dragutin Dimitrievich, who would later become the head of the Serbian military intelligence and also the leader of the Black Hand.
Leader,
Oh.
Dragutin.
The Black Hand frequently sent its spies into Austria-Hungary to commit acts of sabotage or to foment discontent amongst Slavic peoples inside the empire. Their various anti-Austrian propaganda campaigns were designed. Hey, he wears the bed.
Are you going to vote for somebody who wet the bed?
Yeah,
mean-
if you want to, that's fine.
I mean, our Prime Minister has been accused of shitting himself in a Macca's.
Yeah,
That's
and
funny.
he's still our Prime Minister.
yeah. I don't think this was like trying to affect votes. This was more trying to recruit people to
Wet the bed.
violently overthrow via piss.
Yeah.
Piss on the bed.
Oh.
That'll do it.
Here comes Prince Pisser.
It's a real power move. Pissing.
So
Yeah, that's right. Pissing on your people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
That's why my dog does it.
Oh, well, if you got a
Power
powerful,
move.
powerful stream.
That's right.
So their various propaganda campaigns were designed especially to attract and recruit angry and restless Slavic youths with strong nationalistic sentiments. That's all from ThoughtCo article. Of these youths, 3 were named Gavrilo Princip, Trifko Grabez, and Nedelko Kaprinovich. We'll talk more about them in a minute, but it's fair to say when Archduke Franz Ferdinand agreed to visit the newly annexed Bosnia and Herzegovina in June of 1914, there was a huge amount of tension simmering in the background and probably in the foreground too. Sounds more, actually, it's probably more foreground.
Like a 3D simmering.
But I think it was foreground because apparently Ferdinand reportedly said to a few people beforehand, like, I reckon there might be some bullets waiting for me down there in Sarajevo.
Ooh.
And he had premonitions of dying and stuff apparently.
And yet he was like, let's go.
Anyway, it's an invite. It's good to get out of the house.
I'm going to be like my grandfather and not turn up when I've RSVP'd.
Yeah.
Prick.
Such a prick.
Perf.
The planned visit divided locals. It wasn't particularly popular. The idea of they've just been officially taken in as part of the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, and a lot of the people down there were not happy about it. According to Britannica, Balkan politics were turbulent, and the neighbouring kingdom of Serbia coveted Bosnia. Moreover, the date chosen for this imperial visit in Habsburg show of force was June the 28th, a black date in Serbian history. It was the anniversary of the Turkish victory over Serbia at the Battle of Kosovo in 1389, which was many centuries earlier, but apparently still a very important date there. And this fanned the flames of dissent among Serbian nationalists even further.
And do you feel like that Ferdinand and his cronies had picked that date on purpose?
It doesn't. Well, I hadn't read anything suggesting that because remembering that Ferdinand supposedly is not trying to. He's trying to be like, hey, we're all in this together and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think he
it's
was
cool,
going
it's
there to be
cool.
like, oi, fuckheads.
Yeah.
I'm here to rule over you. That's the impression I've got from what I've been
This
reading.
is an important day for you. Not anymore, fuckos.
Yeah.
He's not doing that.
Okay.
But it sounds like if he wasn't aware, he was a bit naive to it at the very
Yeah.
least. But I'm not sure.
But
Maybe
did
you
they
do.
have like Google Calendar or Wikipedia back then?
Exactly.
Look it up.
Look it up, mate.
Yes, on this day.
Surely
Come
you've
on.
got someone looking stuff up for you.
Are you serious?
Next in line to the throne.
Insane. And you're not looking shit
You're
up.
not looking shit up?
What is wrong with you?
What are you doing?
You shouldn't be in that position. I'm with your grandfather or uncle or whoever the fuck it is now.
Uncle still.
Uncle.
Remains uncle throughout his
I
life.
don't know.
He's like, look, he's
He
rocking up.
hasn't graduated. Well, he was my uncle, but
Now he's my
bumping him up
grandfather.
to grandfather.
You can do that.
Yeah.
I call all my uncles grandpa just to confuse them.
You call your grandpa's uncle?
No, I call my grandpa Dave. And his name is Eddie.
Well, that is confusing. That's broken my brain.
I'm confused.
No, everyone thinks he has Alzheimer's, but really, I'm just confusing him. He keeps saying, my name's Eddie. And everyone's like, yeah, okay. We know. And I'm going, g'day, Dave. Good to see you, mate.
You're going to hell.
So I've been giving a lot of there's all been background so far, but we're getting to the action of the
Getting to the foreground,
yes, we're getting into the foreground now.
as well as the Serbian hate is in the foreground.
Yes,
Gotcha.
and I'm taking a lot of this part of the story from a few different history.com articles. Great website. I've already quoted 3 different history.com articles. I think they really like this story. I think.
They like World War One.
Yeah, I think they're pretty keen on, I don't know, history?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what I would argue.
They love it.
They're keen
Well,
on
if
it.
you loved history so much, then why aren't you written on a parchment? Yeah, didn't think so.
Yeah,
Fuckheads.
fuckheads.
Got them.
Let's get everyone.
Should we?
Yeah.
All right, line them up. Who's next?
Who's next? Come on, here we go.
All right. Well, when we get to someone, you really
Yeah, I'm
let
going
them
to
have
fucking let it rip.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to tell them a piece of my mind.
Says from history.com. Upon learning of Ferdinand's upcoming visit, the young Bosnians, a secret revolutionary society of peasant students, began plotting to assassinate him. Straight up, they heard he was coming. They had a different target earlier. Didn't quite work out. couldn't get it together in time.
Seems like they're just keen to assassinate.
They want to make a big statement. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, these are young guys. These ones we're talking about, the main guy, 19-year-old.
Wow.
And they're sort of been radicalised, I guess.
Yeah.
Via the Black Hand and other such organisations. In May, Gavrilo Princip, Trifko Grabez, and Nedeljko Kabranovic travelled to the Serbian capital of Belgrade, where they received 6 handheld bombs, 4 semi-automatic pistols, and cyanide suicide capsules from members of the so-called Black Hand, a terrorist group with its close ties to the Serbian army.
Right, I was wondering who was giving them that. At first, it sounded a bit like that. As they crossed
just
the
went
border,
shopping.
it was
Yeah.
like, "Welcome, please come on in."
What would you like? Show bags.
Yeah. How many suicide capsules should I put in here? 6?
Just going
Is
through
that enough?
and there's people there scooping stuff out.
Yeah.
How many scoops would you like? Punnet of cyanide, please. After practicing with their pistols in a Belgrade park, the 3 men journeyed back
Imagine
to...
just walking the dog. People just practicing guns.
Shooting shit.
Practicing
And they're yelling,
guns.
"Cop that, Franz Ferdinand!"
Yeah. And you're like, oh my God, they're trying to shoot my dog, Franz Ferdinand.
Please come along. Away from there.
They were saying, cop that, Franz Ferdinand. No, that's giving away too much. Cop that, Archduke F. Ferdinand.
Yeah, there we go.
No. Cop that, Archduke Franz F.
And then they're winking as they say it.
So they practiced with their pistols. This is all from History.com. The 3 men journeyed back to Bosnia, receiving help from Black Hand associates to smuggle their weapons across the border. It feels like they're like, hey boys,
Yeah.
do the hard stuff for us. We
Yeah.
got jobs. We're in the army. We can't do an assassination and kill
No.
ourselves. Do you wanna?
Do you want to do it? Hey,
That'd be great.
I'll get you a
'cause
gun.
It'd be really good for
Help
us.
you get a little gun. That'd be fun.
To this day, it remains unclear whether the Serbian government participated in the scheme. So there's still a lot of murkiness around it. It was still from History.com. Ferdinand and Sophie departed their estate for Bosnia-Herzegovina on June the 23rd. Having received multiple warnings to cancel the trip, the Archduke knew that danger potentially awaited them. After arriving at a spa town a few miles outside of Sarajevo,
I'm listening.
the capital of Bosnia, and Ferdinand attended 2 days of military exercises while Sophie visited schools and orphanages. So it's a classic, like a royal tour.
Yeah.
Like I watched The Crown and there's a lot of that in that.
Absolutely,
They
yes.
show it painstakingly, in painstaking detail in The Crown of Diana and Charles going around Australia and stuff. On a whim, the couple drove in one evening to check out Sarajevo's bazaars. While there, they attracted a crowd of onlookers, including Princip, the guy who was training to kill him. But nothing happened, and apparently they were treated with warmth and politeness.
He hugged them both.
Yeah. And he said, I'm going to kill you tomorrow.
Pardon? What?
Said, it's so nice to meet you.
Oh, thank you. You
Tomorrow.
too.
Tomorrow.
What?
I'll see you tomorrow.
Great. This is we're at the address where we're staying.
Room 103.
Yeah, you seem very nice. Let yourself in.
He's a key.
Yeah.
Let yourself in. Hey, I'm an open door kind of ruler.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, well, I mean, as you'll hear, I'll say it now, they published ahead of time the routes they were going to drive along in their
Okay.
open-top car.
Okay.
Did he also draw a little target on his head?
Yes. Which was missed and got him in the neck. But anyway, we'll get to that. Following a banquet with religious and political leaders, only one day of events remained before Ferdinand and Sophie were to return home. That morning, June 28th, the Archduke sent a telegram to his eldest son congratulating him on his latest exam results. It broke my heart. I don't know why reading that. It broke my heart. I'm like, oh man, the Archduke is a good dad.
So they did have kids.
Yeah. I read somewhere that Sophie's pregnant, but that doesn't seem to come up a lot. But if it is, this is even more
Worse.
fucked what's about to happen.
Oh my God, stop spoiling it.
Oh.
He and Sophie then boarded a train for the short ride into Sarajevo. For once, Sophie was permitted to walk alongside Ferdinand during a brief troop inspection.
Oh my God, Sophie, congratulations.
I was like, the uncle was like, fine, have it.
Once.
I get maybe it was just he wasn't around.
Yeah, that's right, actually. And he's telling everyone, don't tell uncle.
Please
Yeah.
don't tell Uncle. Don't tell Unc. So after that, the couple got in an open-top car for a motorcade ride to City Hall. The car in front of them was supposed to carry 6 specially trained officers, but instead had only one. plus 3 local policemen.
Where were the other 5?
In fact, throughout the trip, Austro-Hungarian officials allegedly focused more attention on dinner menus than security details. This is still according to History.com. It's a wild zing 100 and something years later.
They're more worried about food poisoning than assassination.
Oh, is that what you're thinking?
Maybe.
He's got a very delicate stomach.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. If he gets the runs, parade's going to be very difficult for him. He's in an open-top car, but still, it'll smell really bad.
So there were 7 young Bosnians. I mentioned 3 earlier. They spread out along the route, and they all had bombs and guns and stuff. So there was like, if the first guy doesn't do it, the next guy will. There's a bunch of opportunities to do it, and they were spread out across Appel Key.
That also gives you, like, if you're the first guy, you're like, well, I'll let him go. There's 5 or 6 more of these bombs.
That is exactly what happened. The first guy lost his nerve.
It's like, don't worry about it. I'm not the last.
Yeah.
But if you're the 7th person, you're like, fuck, don't put this on me.
Yeah.
How has he got here? But you'd be at the first, you'd be like, it'll be done easily before he gets to me.
Yeah.
6 other chances.
I haven't even looked at how to throw this, like, activate this bomb.
I won't have to do anything, but I'll say I would have bloody done it. I would have.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, that's right. I definitely would have.
So the main route was along this road, which ran parallel to the Miljacka River. When the motorcade passed by on its route that had been pre-published,
Insane.
Kabronovic asked which car carried the Archduke. So they'd already passed one guy. He lost his nerve. Then it's going past Kabronovic, who I believe was dying of tuberculosis or something. So he was sort of like, I'm dying anyway. I only saw that on one video, but I took that guy's word for it. He said it in a British accent.
Oh,
and
that
you know
means
how much
it's
I'm
true.
a sucker for those
Yeah.
scholarly sounding Brits.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why I love Adele.
I trust anything she says.
Of course.
So Kabronovic asked someone, he goes, which of the cars has got the Archduke in it? And someone said, oh, it's that one. So then he hurled his bomb at the car.
Imagine that you'd be like, whoa.
I thought you were looking for a photo or
I am
something.
not involved.
Jesus. The bomb bounced off the folded up roof. So it's an open top limousine car with the roof folded back, canvas roof, whatever. It bounced off the roof, rolled under the car behind, exploding, which wounded 2 army officers and several bystanders, but left Ferdinand and Sophie essentially unharmed. Apparently, Kabronovic then swallowed a cyanide pill. I got this from Hardcore Histories. He swallowed the cyanide pill, jumped into the river, basically going double chance he's just going to kill himself one of these 2 ways. The cyanide pill apparently didn't have the desired effect, only made him spew up. And then the riverbed there wasn't enough water in there to drown, and he was quickly apprehended. So
Just splashing about in the mud.
yeah.
And his own vomit.
Yeah.
He just had a spew for nothing.
But then apparently,
Oh, I spewed for this.
When do you spew for anything, Jess? What a weird thing to say. Oh, God, bloody God, I spewed for nothing.
Oh, what a waste of a good spew.
waste of bile.
What's the point of that spew?
Ugh.
So this is back to the History.com article.
Why do I say anything?
It's very entertaining.
Colour, bit of pizzazz.
I don't think I'll speak for a bit. I'll go on timeout. You go.
I love it.
No, don't say that, Dave, out of pity.
So as he's being taken away, according to History.com, he shouted out, "I am a Serbian hero." Sort of yelled out to the crowd.
All right.
Okay, babe.
So it might have been a really good spew.
I just had a vomit.
I just had a vomit.
We've all screamed that while we're being
My bomb blew
carried
up.
out of a pub.
Yeah.
Innocent people.
He's just yelling,
Yeah.
I'm never drinking cyanide again.
Someone's holding his hair back.
Carol!
Oh, God. Don't tell Mum. Please.
Don't tell Mum. Mum, don't tell Mum.
Sorry. I love you. He's saying that to the policeman arresting him. I love you so much.
Okay, now I won't talk.
Apparently, a couple other of the young Bosnians who were there to kill had good looks and didn't take their chances. I think, you just young kids are going, wait, what am I don't want to kill someone. I get on, I'm putting thoughts into their heads, but... rather than immediately flee Sarajevo, Ferdinand decided to continue on to the planned event at City Hall. Princip was like, I think he sort of assumed that the bomb had worked, and then he found out later and he's like, oh shit. So he was just sort of like hanging around town. But Ferdinand's like, what a pro. He's like, oh, we'll still go. I almost got blown up, but I'll go to this event at City Hall. I don't want to let people down like my uncle did that time to me.
That's not
wedding.
I've RSVP'd.
I ticked beef.
I mean, exactly. I'm not letting another state go to waste.
And then, so after that event, he insisted on visiting the wounded officers in the hospital. He's like, I got to go visit them. They put their lives on the line for me. I got to go visit them. Then they went quickly. So they drove quickly back down that main route, but they were going to obviously turn off to go a different way because they were now going to hospital, which wasn't planned. And at this point, the driver of his car, possibly a few cars in the motorcade, made the wrong turn, not realising there'd been a change of plans.
I suppose the first car goes down and everyone's like,
Everyone
well,
follows.
sure, Tony knows where he's going.
Yeah.
And they turned down what was a very busy street, Franz Joseph Street.
Whoa.
Which is the uncle's name, right?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
right. So,
And a glacier.
whoa. Really? Franz Joseph Glacier. So that was obviously named during his reign, I suppose.
Maybe.
Could be a coincidence.
I'd say yes.
On being told that he'd made the wrong turn, the driver stopped to try and reverse back, but stalled.
Oh, how embarrassing.
So
On a busy
embarrassing.
street, too.
Oh, my God.
Everyone's looking. Oh, God.
As it turned out, the location they stopped and stalled was horribly unlucky, as it was where Gavrilo Princip was standing,
Get fucked.
right in front of him.
No way.
Yeah.
And he's about to change history forever.
That's incredible.
According to the Smithsonian, for the Archduke to be presented as a stationary target to the one man in a crowd of thousands still determined to kill him was a remarkable stroke of bad luck. But even then, the odds still favoured Franz Ferdinand's survival. Princip was so hemmed in by the crowd that he was unable to pull out and prime the bomb he was carrying. Instead, he was forced to resort to his pistol, but failed to actually aim it. According to his own testimony, Princip confessed, "Where I aimed, I do not know," adding that he had raised his gun against the automobile without aiming and even turned my head as I shot, even allowing for the point-blank range because he stopped 6 feet from him.
Holy
Isn't that
shit.
incredible?
Whoa.
It is pretty striking, given these circumstances, that the killer fired just 2 bullets, and yet one struck Sophie, who was sitting alongside him, while the other hit the heir to the throne. It is astonishing that both rounds proved almost immediately fatal. Sophie was hit in the stomach and her husband in the neck, the bullet severing his jugular vein. There was nothing any doctor could have done to save either of them.
Whoa. That is incredible. Fuck. So he's turned away. He's not even looking where he's shooting.
Yeah.
And both shots that he fires.
He said later he was not trying to kill Sophie. He was hoping to kill the Archduke. And
Wow.
And it just happened to be standing there on the wrong street.
Just
Yeah.
because they took a wrong turn.
this is what hardcore history guys like. Is like, if you ever believe in fate and destiny,
Yeah.
this just feels like, and
Yeah.
this is the moment that kicks off World War One.
Yeah. Crazy.
I mean, that World War One, there's no World War Two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And everything changes.
Yeah.
I imagine we don't exist, probably.
yeah.
Living on the moon.
Yeah, you meant because we'd be living,
We'd be
on, the
living on the moon.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't
wouldn't
exist on Earth.
We wouldn't exist like this.
Yeah.
We'd exist as moon men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Podcasting moon men.
Obviously. We'd still be doing the same job.
Surely.
There's a popular telling of the story until this week I thought was the true one, was that Princip was in that position because he'd sort of given up on the day on the assassination. He was there to have a sandwich at Schiller's Delicatessen, which I believe was right in that location. And he's sort of halfway through eating his
Oh my
sandwich and then looks up and goes, holy shit.
Bang, bang.
But apparently that's a modern invention that...
He didn't have a sandwich.
Apparently it was very unlikely there would have even been sandwiches there at the time.
He'd never eaten a sandwich.
Yeah, sandwiches apparently weren't big in Sarajevo at the
So
time.
you will not be calling this week's episode History's Most Important Sandwich.
No. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, it's... When I was reading this article on... and going, oh no, it's... what was it on... I mean, these will all be in the show notes, but the article was in the Smithsonian, and I think he said that it was really only this century that story had sort of started coming up. It's like quite a modern invention. Which is strange. What a strange thing to catch the popular attention.
I mean, it's so interesting without the sandwich.
Yeah,
Why do we need the sandwich?
Because when I was
like
reading
the most incredible,
That was obviously like a story started by Subway.
Yeah, that's right. So Gavrilo was eating fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've...
Meatball sub.
Well, yeah.
Honestly, they've had a great history with their spokespeople, haven't they?
Yeah, that's right.
This is actually... this guy who murdered someone wasn't the worst of them. Arguably. So it was just short of his 20th birthday, and because of that, Princep was too young for the death penalty and instead was sentenced to 20 years behind bars. He apparently tried to turn the gun on himself, but couldn't get it happening before he got arrested.
He missed.
Yeah.
He got these two incredible shots, and then
It missed.
he missed
Wow.
everything else.
But he didn't see out his 20-year sentence. He died in prison of tuberculosis at the age of just 23.
Oh, wow. Only a few years later.
With Europe's power struggles sitting in such a delicate balance, the death of Archduke Franz Ferdinand proved to be the spark that would ignite the First World War. According to History.com, first, Austria-Hungary gained German support for punitive action against Serbia. They got in contact with the Wilhelm, I think he said, hey, if we go in, will you back us? They're like, yep. Then it sent Serbia an ultimatum, apparently worded in a way that made acceptance unlikely. Basically terms that you would battle to agree
Guaranteeing a war.
No one wears pants for 18 years.
Oh, they love pants in Serbia.
Well, can't have them. No pants. No pants or war. Choose no pants or war.
Fuck, all right. Job's out. So this is still from History.com. Serbia proposed arbitration to resolve the dispute, but Austria-Hungary instead declared war on July 28th, 1914, exactly a month after Ferdinand's death. By the following week, Germany, Russia, France, Belgium, Montenegro, and Great Britain had all been drawn into the conflict. Put simply, and I hope I got this right, Russia got involved because of its alliance with Serbia. Then Germany declared war on Russia due to their alliance with Austria-Hungary. And Britain declared war on Germany after Germany invaded the neutral Belgium, who Britain had agreed to protect. And then the rest, as we know, is history. And I was kind of hoping... I put this to Dave last night. I messaged him. I said, you don't know what the topic is yet, but would you be up for doing the next part of the story? My topic tomorrow is the start of a story. Would you be up for doing the next part? I don't know how you would tackle that. It'd be like the start of World War One.
The next 4 years of World War One.
I don't
Dave,
think
just do World War One.
It's like the biggest topic ever.
No, I'm not suggesting you do all of that. Maybe one of the major battles or something in the early stages. But whether or not you can find a way into that. I just thought it might be fun if, and then Jess, you'd take up the story after the week after that.
Damn. Yeah.
It's just an idea. Tell me if you don't want me to do that. I mean, I can edit this out either way. So then after the war, Austria-Hungary was dissolved and the Gavrilo Princip dream of a Slavic nation was achieved when the kingdom of Serbs, Croats and Slovenes was formed on December the 1st, 1918, later renamed Yugoslavia, which has also since been dissolved. In a 2014 article marking the 100-year anniversary of the assassination, The Guardian wrote that Princip remains a polarising figure, revered by many of Bosnia's Serbs, but derided as a murderer by the country's Muslims and Croats. So that's the end of my report. I was going to propose a new segment that I want to try and do each week after our report.
Okay.
And that is, and this sort of was inspired by last week's Dillinger escape plan connection.
Yep.
So each week I'm going to ask the question, has this week's topic inspired a band name?
Oh.
This week, it's a no, but we'll see. See how we go in future weeks.
Oh, man. I was like, here we go. New segment. This is going to... Gonna be great. All right.
Obviously, Franz Ferdinand. But yeah, I wonder if that would
Very
be the
funny.
case every week. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and do even when you're doing the report next week.
You'll be
I'll be
quickly
googling
Googling
World
that.
War One. Yeah, that
That'd be a
one's
pretty epic band name, World War One.
Yeah.
Be pretty hard to
Okay.
Google.
Yeah, good point.
Terrible.
World War One band.
Yeah,
There you
they'd be
go.
all
World War
I
One,
saved it.
the band.
Yes.
The World War One band.
Okay, that's good.
So I feel like I say this every time. It's tricky to summarize these huge stories.
yeah.
And how much once you start doing the events preceding it, it's like how far back do you go? How in depth do you go into it? It's very complicated. But I found nearly all of what I said I didn't know. I knew about the wild coincidence, and I was hoping you didn't know.
I didn't know that at all.
Because I knew Dave probably.
I looked at Dave for like mutual shock, and he was watching my reaction.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh, you both knew that one. Okay, this is news for me."
What? Yeah. Well, I mean,
Crazy.
I only knew it relatively recently, but it's just amazing that that's how the First World War kicked off.
Got to be one of history's biggest and worst coincidences.
Yeah.
I love hearing stories of fate, whatever you want to call it, serendipity, coincidence, whatever. I love when that happens.
Yeah, I find
Even
like,
in this case?
Less so, but you still go, that's incredible.
Yes, it's very mind-blowing.
Yeah.
because it's so heartbreaking and but it's and like knowing what it leads to, because it's so long ago and everything happened as it happened. It's just like one of those things you just go, holy shit,
Yeah, incredible.
wild. And I'm always able to express it in words, what I'm feeling. And I think I just did that. Whoa. Wild.
Whoa. That's how I do it.
So, anyway, thanks for listening to that. We'll be back next week with another story. But before we move on, we really should do everyone's favourite section of the show, the Fact, Quote, or Question section.
Fact, quote, or question.
He always remembers the So the way this works is you get involved at patreon.com/dogoonpod or dogoonpod.com, and we then you sign up on the Sydney Scheinberg Deluxe Memorial Edition level package.
And we give you a little kiss on your bum.
You get a kiss on the bum, virtually, and there it was there. And you also get to give us a fact, a quote, or a question. There's a bunch of different rewards, though, for supporting us. You keep us going. Our patrons, we love them so much. They keep this show ticking along, and depending on what level you're on, you get bonus episodes, voting rights on topics. There's online groups, a Facebook group, which is very active and fun, and a bunch of other things that are also very nice. But this one is the fact, quote, or question section. You get to give us a fact, a quote, or a question. You also get to give yourself a title. First up, we've got Dominic Stevenson, who's given himself the title of Mr. Bombastic.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Rovalova. I added that bit. That's mine. I came up with that.
Wow, I wish it meant
You
something.
are good.
And Dominic has offered us a fact.
Love a fact. Love a fact. It means I don't have to think of an answer.
Oh, yeah. I like the questions, but yeah, the questions sometimes you're like, oh, it's a good question. I don't have a good answer.
Yeah.
But his fact is hippopotamonstrosiquipedeliophobia is the name for a fear of long words.
That is cruel.
That is mean. And also very funny.
That's a great fact. Is that a real fact, Dave? It feels like you would know that for some reason.
No, I don't know if that is or not, but I choose to believe because I want to believe.
That's good.
Keep watching the skis. The next one comes from Jordan Nassi, who's given himself the title of just a slip of the tongue away from being Jordan Nazi. Okay.
True.
Or Jordan Nasty.
He's put Nazi in his own title. Okay.
All right.
I like yours better.
Yeah. I'd go with that next time you're opening with that on a Tinder profile. Maybe don't drop Nazi in there. But you are close, yes.
You like this one, Jess, because it is another fact.
Fuck yeah, Jordan.
Oh, and it's a World War fact as well.
Oh.
In World War II, there was a Canadian one-eyed soldier who took an entire town single-handed. He is the only Canadian to receive a Distinguished Service Medal in 2 wars. His name is Leo Major, and he's a major badass.
He sounds like a badass.
Is he major in rank as well? Major
Major.
is pretty awesome.
There's a band called Major back in the day, wasn't there?
There's always a band.
Maybe he's still in
There's
this day.
always
There's
a
always a
band.
band.
What's the guy from the Catch-22? Is there someone in that called something like Major or something?
Oh, I actually haven't read it, so I'm not sure.
Dave, I thought you were the bookworm of the show.
The book Chook.
The nerd.
Sorry.
You're the nerd of the show is
Thank
what he
you.
means there.
I'm going to see if Google.org has the answer here.
It's a frequently requested book cheat topic, I will say.
Yeah, there is a Major is one of the characters in it.
Well, that is very good.
That is very good.
They did a good one. Well done, Joseph Heller. Very good.
The next one here comes from Kelly Clark, whose title is Phenomenally Philanthropic Phenomenologist. Damn it, close. Phenomenally philanthropic? Phenomenally philanthropic phenomenologist. That's as good as I'm going to give Kelly. And Kelly's asking a question. The question is, did you know that patrons, in addition to all the cool perks listed by Matt at the beginning of everybody's favourite section, also have access to a Do Go On WhatsApp group and a Do Go On Discord? Even I didn't know that.
What?
That's I mean, that feels like a fact, but it was a question because it started with, did you know?
Well, the answer is no.
No.
I didn't know that.
I think I may have seen people post about Discord. Still don't fully understand what it is.
I don't understand what
But
Discord is.
what do you? There's a WhatsApp group. Wow.
That would be insane.
You can be involved in that if you want to. Get involved on the Patreon, and all these opportunities open up to you.
Yeah. Wow.
Thank you for that question, Kelly Clark.
I'm not a Patreon
Yeah,
supporter,
I don't think we're allowed.
so I'm not in there. But fair
We're
enough.
not Patreons. I will not pay money for this.
Ah.
I won't.
The final one here, on that sad note, comes from Colin and Lee Wright, who are the senior and junior liaisons to all mole people.
Fantastic. Can you pass this message on to them?
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Oh,
No, fuck you.
give me back the golden woman. Where is she?
What have you done with the golden woman?
What were you going to say, Dave?
I was going to just say, why? Why?
Oh, that's better.
What have we done to hurt
I
you?
should have let you say it. I wanted to cut you
No,
off.
fuck you is
Fuck
funny.
you.
No, fuck you.
No, fuck you.
And Colin and Lee Wright are giving us a fact. Another fact, Jess. You'll be loving
Oh,
this.
wow.
Three facts.
We've
Three
had-
facts and a fact disguised as a
Yeah,
question.
that's right.
And it goes like this. Fact. I like it. It says again, fact.
Love it.
Matt is reading this without having screened it, so I could basically make him say whatever I want.
Oh, true.
That's a lot of responsibility. That's the first fact, apparently. Second fact, shredded wheat cereal, spray paint, and the Ferris wheel and the United States Pledge of Allegiance were all invented for and debuted at the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, where H.H. Holmes was hanging out being shady AF.
Wow. So what are the four? So it was the Ferris wheel. I remember knowing that.
Ferris wheel, wheat cereal, spray paint, and the United States Pledge of Allegiance.
Wow.
The big four.
That does feel... I've thought about that as that'd be a good topic.
The World Fair?
That World Fair, I guess,
or
in particular.
shredded cereal. Shredded wheat cereal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I mean, cereal, wasn't that was invented to stop people wanking?
And it worked. We've never wanked since.
Or was that just cornflakes?
cornflakes?
Might have just
And
been
it worked. Have
yeah.
you eaten cornflakes ever in your life?
Yes.
And have you wanked since?
Not with cornflakes in my mouth.
Exactly, it worked.
Or without.
Mission accomplished.
Congratulations.
Mr. Kellogg.
Kellogg's, you did it.
Thank you so much for those great facts, those great quotes, and those great questions. I mean,
Thank
they're
you.
all facts. But thank you so much, Dominic, Jordan, Kelly, Colin, and Lee. We also have to thank a few of our other Patreon supporters who are on the shout-out level. And Jess, you normally come up with a little game that's related to the topic of the day. What do you got today?
I think there's a mozzie in here. I don't know with this one.
If it wasn't a sandwich, maybe what were they eating? when they
Kill
assassinate.
someone?
No, that's not.
What about like the biggest coincidence of their life?
Yeah, great.
Yeah, okay, sure. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Dave's got to do the
That
first
feels
one.
hard, but yeah, okay.
That's still hard, isn't it? Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me just give me like 15 minutes to like.
All right.
six-
What
We'll
about
pause
like
now.
what genre their band would be? The band that's named after their name.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, right. Because Franz Ferdinand was that a pop rock band.
Yeah. No, maybe a coincidence. Fuck, that's hard. Or what? What their assassination sparked. That's bad. It's all bad. It's
I
a
reckon
grim
we can.
topic.
I feel like we can do the coincidences one.
Coincidences. Let's do coincidences.
I reckon we could do that. Dave,
Yeah.
look at his. He's already had his 15 minutes. We did pause there.
Yeah, we-
Dave's had 15.
Let the
So
record
what
show
Dave comes up with here,
that there
know
was
that
no 15-minute break.
He got his pen and pad out. He's got a lot of notes.
He's ready to go.
He called a few friends. He's got a lot of info in front of him. All right. So, Dave, first one
Okay.
from Hailsham in Great Britain, Stephen Jaggers.
Oh, wow, that's fucking good, isn't it?
It's a good name.
Stephen Jaggers. What about Stephen Jaggers on his way to the International Space Station? He's flying there.
Yeah.
And he felt a little hungry.
Yeah.
And the only chocolate on board, a Milky Way.
What?
What are the chances?
What are the chances?
So he was a bit peckish, so he went for chocolate.
Yeah, straight to, well, because he's had breakfast. Obviously, you eat well before you get. That's a rule from NASA.
Oh, yeah.
Shredded wheat.
No
Yeah,
chocolate before
exactly. Thank you. And then on the way up, you think, oh fuck it. Now we're in the boring bit. We've survived the takeoff. I'd really love a little bit of chocolate. What's this?
Oh my god, a
A
Milky Way.
And then he looked over at his friend, and what were they eating? A Mars bar.
Oh, that's a bit of fun. That's a bit of fun.
What a crazy coincidence! And the funny thing is, he felt like an M&M.
Yeah, but he didn't look like one.
Oh, we have fun here.
We're
Right,
going to be great dads, you and I.
we are. But I will raise mine in the army, and yours will not be.
Little
in the-
artists.
I drifted off quite a while ago.
think that was
which one
probably
are we
for
up?
the best.
Have we just done Stephen Jaggers so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I was thinking. I was thinking about. Wait, I've got a new fridge coming. How does that work? Do I have to? I guess I got to take the stuff out of the fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to do that, yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So a little peek into where my mind was. Thank you so much, Stephen Jaggers.
Matt's thinking about a fridge.
Well, you guys would have been talking about some real engaging stuff.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
high quality stuff.
That's good
Figure
stuff.
out we're going to be great dads, etc., etc. Let's move on.
The next one, we don't know where he's from, but his name is Bryson Sullivan.
Oh, that's a good name. Bryson Sullivan.
And he coincidentally was, he found out he was lactose intolerant
Yep.
whilst touring a soy factory.
Oh, okay. Because did he have?
Does that make sense?
Did he have like soy milk for the first time? And for the first time in his life, after a coffee, he didn't shit himself.
No, he got his results. His doctor called him and he said,
He
mate,
said, sorry, I'm just in the middle of a tour, but I'll quickly take
I'll take
this
this
call.
call. Oh, it's the lactose that's making me shit myself.
After every coffee.
And then he went wild, had 6 coffees that day.
Yeah.
No problem. No shit. Well,
shit.
obviously there was some shit, but it was, normal consistency.
Good.
Is that kind
Sample.
of what you were hoping for, Dave?
That's good. That's good stuff.
Is it, Dave?
I loved that.
Okay.
And finally, for me, thank you so much, Bryson Sullivan. Congratulations on your new love of soy. I'd also love to thank from Seaton in South Australia, Nicholas Mowbray.
Nicholas Mowbray.
Yes, just what's his coincidence?
He was travelling on the Spirit of Tasmania.
Okay, so that's a ship here in
Yep.
Melbourne that goes to Tasmania.
That's right, Melbourne to
Crosses a
Tassie.
mighty Bass Strait.
When he was visited by the Spirit of Tasmania.
Whoa.
What? No.
What are
On
the
the
odds of
Spirit
Out
of
that?
of all the times.
And even the Spirit was like, yo, wait, hang on, where are we? Holy
What
shit.
the
Are we on the map?
fuck?
That's fucking crazy, man.
The spirit was like, I was always due to spook you tonight.
Yeah.
Wherever you were.
I was just-
What are the odds you were here?
This is crazy. Can we not say that? Let's get a selfie. This is crazy. No one will believe this.
So when you say the spirit of Tasmania, do you mean the spirit of Abel
Tasman, yes.
Yeah, wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Amazing.
I know. It was incredible. They both got selfies. Obviously, neither of them turned up in each other's photos. as is custom. We don't turn up in ghosts' photos.
Oh, he took a ghost photo.
Yeah, of course.
And humans don't
What, you think
shop in...
you think ghosts don't have cell phones? Read a fucking book, Matt.
probably
You're
have,
embarrassing yourself.
Yeah, okay, no, fair enough.
You're embarrassing all of
Thank you.
us. Why are you thanking me?
Thanks.
I'm ripping you a new one. Why are you thanking me for that? I'm ruthlessly owning you right now.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Do
Wow.
you want to thank a few?
Yeah, I would love to thank some people. I do want to apologise to Nicholas as well. I'll try not to contribute much to the coincidence game.
No, that was great. They're getting
I don't know if
better.
it was.
Getting better. Each one's been better since Dave's really ordinary start.
Milky Way. Come on, that's a coincidence.
I don't know if it is. I would love to thank
That is a coincidence.
from
When it was already on board. It would be a
yeah, so
coincidence.
they packed it on purpose.
Oh, okay. What about this? Let's
Oh
change
my
that.
God.
No, but then it's okay. He had a box of celebrations, and out of all the ones he picked, it was a Milky Way. Meaning he ignored the Mars and the galaxy.
No, this...
That's how I realised. Fuck. I mean, he could have had a Maltese or
What
a
if-
bounty.
Mate, what if he had a packet of... what did you just say? What packet?
Celebrations.
He had a packet of favourites.
Yeah.
Cadbury
And there was
favourite. And
Milky
somehow
Way
there
in
was a
there.
Milky Way in there.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
Does that make it better? I don't know.
That
don't
makes it
know.
sound- I mean, it makes it confusing.
Makes
It
it
means, it
more
means
freaky.
he skipped the Morrow, which is like a knockoff Mars bar. But I love it. I prefer a Morrow.
It's the only place you can get them now, is in the little ones.
I love a
You know
Morrow.
about them?
Anyway, I would love to thank from Cambridge in the UK, Barnaby Slater.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
great
Barnaby
name.
Slater.
I want to tell you something though. On a road trip,
Can you work a
last.
coincidence in here?
Yep.
And also Barnaby Slater.
Okay, yeah, never mind. I won't tell the story. Coincidence.
Oh.
Okay.
No, I want to hear the story.
No,
I just
but
want.
I don't know if I
I
can
want to
work it
see
in.
you
I'll
work.
tell you the story, then let's see if we can work it.
Okay.
Okay, so on a road trip last summer, pre-COVID summer, so
Yeah.
like the second 2 summers ago, we got very into air hockey. Everywhere we went, there was air hockey, so we just played a lot of air hockey, and we named it the Slater Cup. And we would be playing air hockey, and every time you got a goal and the other person, we would go, Slater! And it was very fun, to the point where we considered buying an air hockey table instead of a dining table when we got
Oh,
home.
that would have been smart.
Just put a piece
Put
of
a
board
plank
over the
board
top.
Anyway,
That so clever. Was Slater a brand of table?
I don't
or-
remember where Slater came from.
But I
Okay.
think that works in well with Barnaby
Who
Slater's
happened to
coincidence.
be in the hotel game room that we were playing Slater Cup in.
Yeah.
And we yelled, Slater! And Barnaby said, yes, how can I help you? Hello, it's me, Barnaby Slater.
From Cambridge in England.
That's how they talk.
My word, it is. Yeah, that was. What are the odds of that?
I know. What are the odds that we
Slater.
would yell Slater to
At that
Barnaby
exact
Slater?
moment. Barnaby Slater, fantastic coincidence, and thank you so much for your support.
I would, secondly, so
What a way to
sorry.
thank you.
So sorry, Barnaby. I would love to thank from Fairyland
Oh, there
in
we
Queensland. Have you guys heard of Fairyland?
No, I love it though.
Incredible.
Sure, I went to Fairyland as a kid. Was there like big Goldilocks statues and stuff?
I don't know.
Isn't there a place outside of Melbourne somewhere called Fairyland?
Well, this is in Queensland. So there's 2
Coincidence.
Fairylands.
2?
I would love to thank Aaron Sells
He's a real estate agent.
in Fairyland.
That's the coincidence.
His surname
Because his name
Sells?
Sells.
Yeah.
Or is that nominative determination?
Sorry, mate. You just sort of just trailed off there.
No,
Yeah, you
he
heard me.
nailed that sentence is what he did.
You heard me, Dave.
So you think the coincidence there is that Aaron is a real estate agent?
Because imagine if you were looking, you get a real estate agent, you'd see that and go, well, this guy's changed his name. He'd have to turn up and say, hi, I'm Aaron Sells. Yes, it's my real name.
Just
Handshake.
But I'm not, I don't know about you, Moneybags, but I am more looking for an Aaron Rents kind of real estate agent.
Well, the irony is that he doesn't sell, he rents properties.
Yeah, okay, he's a property manager.
Yeah.
Which is a noble job if my property manager is listening.
Dave Quirk used to say, that's my actual name, David Quirk. It's not just a funny stage name, it's my actual name, Quirk.
Is that your impression? It's pretty good.
There's a little attempt there.
Yeah, that was
Pretty
good.
So
That was
we're
good
sticking with Aaron
Little
as a real
joke
estate
there.
agent.
That's something that he says occasionally on stage that I say all the time. Little joke there.
Yeah, it's a good one.
stuff. I enjoy that a lot. Yeah, no, he's a property manager.
manager.
So
Oh, great.
not a salesperson at all.
Yeah, perfect. All right.
Oh, no, it
we
doesn't
go.
matter.
We'll save it.
I'm going to say he works at a real estate agent, but it's the cleaner.
But he
Doesn't do any of the
don't you
selling.
Picture, like as he on his TV ad,
Yeah.
he would do a double thumb point to himself that says Aaron sells.
100%, yeah. But it's like, but everyone thinks it's actually a very cool ad.
Yeah.
It's not one of those ads where people go, what a fucking wanker.
He probably his motto would be Aaron puts on the market, Aaron sells.
Very good. You give house to Aaron, Aaron sells.
Aaron give me house to Aaron.
Aaron sells. And his phone number's written in crayon. Aaron, it was already bad. How we made it so much worse.
Hey, you're
So
welcome.
sorry.
You are
So
welcome.
sorry.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your
That's us
money.
thanking you, Aaron.
Thank you for
Thanks
your
so much
money.
for your support.
Money.
You say money and it makes it sound gross.
It is gross.
Support is what they're really
It's a
offering.
business, baby.
That's right. And something that Aaron sells, understands.
I would finally love to thank from Bradford in West Yorkshire, Ashley Dickinson.
Ashley Dickinson. Fantastic name. Coincidence here. Of course, once upon a time, Ashley Dickinson was having... he or she was at the birthing centre. Cow birthing centre.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm really
And-
looking forward to where this is going.
Yeah, me too.
And when there, he said, he didn't realize they were going to go there. They got lost on the way and was looking for directions, got out, and they were lost on their way back from getting leg sculpting surgery. And as they went in, someone was pointing at a couple of newborn calves and said, "Look at those two beautiful new calves." And Ashley said, "Thank you so much." And it was a bit awkward, but
A bit awkward.
I zoned out in the middle, and I still got it.
I did too. I did a lot of work there in the middle. That
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I don't know if you could tell. I didn't know where that was going when I started.
But look at the amazing destination you ended at.
Incredible dismount.
Ashley must be stoked with that.
That's
Thanks,
what it's all
Ashley.
about.
You rule.
Thanks so much, Ashley.
I would now like to thank from Canawindra in New South Wales, Jack Beath.
Jack Beath. That's
What
cool,
about Jack went out for a hike
Yeah,
listening to Queen.
yeah, lovely.
Bohemian Rhapsody. Boom, 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 boom.
Uh-oh, he's committed to the whole thing.
Looks over. You know who's walking down the hill
Who?
on his hiking?
Who?
Brian May.
Fuck off.
As he's listening to the really guitar-y bit, and he's going, Brian,
Brian.
and he said, "No photos, please." And kept
Yeah,
walking.
Yeah, classic Brian May.
Wow, that's a wild coincidence.
What a coincidence! Out of all the bands.
And you happen to be listening to Queen.
Yeah, can you believe that?
Such an obscure band.
Yeah, that's right.
Amazing. And then I bet all the people around Jack were like, who's that? What band are you talking
Who?
about?
What? Queen? Isn't that Queen Elizabeth II? You
Yeah.
mean?
And he's
Have
like,
some
no,
respect.
they're an incredibly cool band.
What? You mean that old man with that crazy shaggy hair
Yeah.
was once a cool rocker? What?
I don't believe you.
I believe you.
Coincidence.
That is a
Total
coincidence.
Believe
That is
it.
a coincidence.
What I'd love about Ripley's Believe It or Not, the TV show, is it would have Dean Cain, aka Superman. At the end, he'd say a story and then go, "Believe it or not," and then he'd say, "Believe it." And he'd be like, "Well, is it
So
believe it
why
or
did
not?
you
Are
give
you
me the
giving us the
option?
option, or are
Yeah.
you telling me to believe it now, Dean?
Or is it like a,
You enforcing this on me?"
yeah.
Well, if
It's like a
anyone
multiple
could,
choice and then you're telling me the answer?
be Superman.
Believe it or not. Believe it.
Believe it. And then he'd walk
Okay,
away, and
okay,
then
Dean.
maybe like a tiki torch would go out or something, and you go, "Oh, was that
Spooky.
controlled by someone on the set,
Surely
or was
not.
that a coincidence that went out?"
Or not.
Thank you, Dean Cain. Believe it. So thank you so much to Jack Beath there, rocking out with Brian May in the forest. I would now like to thank, from Addleston in England, this is Sophie Shooter,
Sophie Shooter.
who does a lot of great work in our Patreon Facebook group. Keeps the community spirit alive. So thank you so much, Sophie.
Yes. Is it back? I think you haven't done one in a bit.
That's very much on purpose.
Okay.
Do you want? You start.
All right. Sophie was. Mine are all meat based today. Or soy. Sophie was walking down the meat aisle.
Yes.
At the local supermarket.
Yes.
When, of course.
She saw the very cow whose meat she was buying. The cow was walking through going, has anybody seen chunks of meat?
Presumably bleeding out.
Yeah. And Sophie was like, oh my God, it's so crazy. I actually just picked this up. Let me stitch this back into you. And the cow made a full recovery.
Oh, wow.
Coincidental and
Stop making me
heartwarming.
do this.
Life-saving.
amazing.
A life-saving coincidence.
Yeah.
Wow, Sophie Shooter, well done.
Yeah, she saved a cow's life and made a lifelong friend.
Oh,
Just somebody else in a different aisle.
okay.
Yeah.
That's a coincidence.
They both reached for the same bag of lollies.
Oh.
Struck up a conversation and
And
yeah.
then a cow came and said, has anyone seen my hooves been boiled for a while and added dye and sugar to it? Anyone? Yes. And then the packet of
Yeah.
lollies. And then they sort of ingested them back into their hooves.
Yeah, and their hooves grew back.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
All right. I'd like to finally thank someone. Someone's had a bit of fun here. And it seems like they've made up a place,
Okay.
which I find a little bit offensive. They're from Skud der Neshaven, from a place. The country is listed as Norway.
Oh,
Have you
what?
Hey,
heard
I'm
of that?
telling you, that's a real country.
Matt, did you plant this?
No, it sounds like no way. We get it, mate. We
yeah.
get it. We get
oh,
it.
no way. Okay, I get it.
That's so cool that we got a listener, not only a listener, but a Patreon supporter in Norway. That's sick.
Awesome.
All right, that is cool. We have heard of it. That was a joke. No, thank you so
You know it
much
exists.
for your support. And I would like to thank now, and also
Skuden and Sheven.
I think Dave said it better.
Yeah, and he said
When
it
he
worse,
kind of,
right?
really
he said it so bad.
worded it out.
I said it. Mine took 15 seconds to get
Dave
it.
said it. Isn't that weird that Dave said it better? Because he said it worse.
It's so weird.
That's weird.
I would like to thank Lean or Lenny Hoynes.
Coincidence.
What about Lean was flying their kite
Yep.
and I got tangled with another kite.
Yes.
Do you know who was flying that?
Whom?
Brian May. Can you believe? And he said, "Fucking hell! I paid £40 for that. Shit."
And the coincidence is that another Patreon supporter
Yeah, can you
had
believe
also
that?
met Brian May.
Exactly. We listed 9 names, and of those 9, 2 have had incidents with Brian
That's
May.
crazy. That's
Cranky
crazy.
Brian
Yeah,
May.
exactly. He's cracked.
Notoriously.
Brian May has cracked the shits of 2 of those 9
Cranky
people.
old Brian May.
Fucking hell, Mum! It looked like a drag, and then you ruined it.
Yeah, that's classic.
Thank you so much, Lean.
Lean. So thank you so much to Lean, Sophie, Jack, Ashley, Aaron, Barnaby, and Nicholas, Bryson, and Stephen. Legends one and all. And
Absolutely.
finally, Jess, you want to explain the Triptych Club?
So the Triptych Club is a very special club. We like to thank patrons who have supported us for 3 consecutive years, and I like to think of it as like an airport lounge, but way cooler, and you don't have to get on a plane
Like
after.
a good airport lounge, like a seaport lounge.
It's kind of like a country club, but like not wanky. It is exclusive, but
yeah,
you know.
but we're not elitist.
Yeah, absolutely right.
I picture a lot of like crushed red velvet curtains and stuff.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I don't know why that is. It's more
So we've
sort
got
of
a
like
bar.
a bar, cocktail loungey sort of
Yeah,
thing.
we've
There's
got-
booths. Everyone gets their own booth.
We've got music every week and a rotating menu of hors d'oeuvres and cocktail specials. This week, of course, we will be having the food of Austria.
Oh, probably sausages.
Sausages.
They big on sausages.
Uh,
Dave, that's more your part of the world. What do they do in Austria?
and other treats.
What's the cocktail?
Cocktail is the
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger.
Oh, that is good
What's in
stuff.
that?
Protein powder, steroids, and a little bit of chocolate.
Whoa.
Peanut butter and a banana. It's a protein smoothie.
Are we talking Vienna sausage?
Oh.
Viennese apple strudel?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Wiener schnitzel?
Yes.
Potato
think it's
goulash?
a Wiener
Ooh,
schnitzel.
yum.
And a noodle?
Yes, all of that. Yes.
Oh, I
that's
want
right.
all this. This food sounds so good. I'm just looking this up as well. Powidl is a thick sweet jam made from plums.
Oh,
Ooh, ooh, ooh. The plums. Oh, me plums.
Oh, me plums. Oh, me plums.
Oh, me plums.
that is what you say about the jam.
Yeah.
Ooh, me
Ooh, me
plum
plums.
jam.
Delicious.
There we go. And Dave, who you are obviously in charge of booking the musical acts each week. Who have we got performing this week?
Well, unfortunately, no bands did tie back to the topic this week in any way, shape, or form. So we are sadly left with the music of the Bee Gees.
We couldn't get
Who-
Cranky Brian May.
There was a number one album last week. Was one of the Bee Gees, probably the living one, and Barry Gibb, and he had an album which was the songs of the Bee Gees.
Oh,
Yeah, like, but re-sung with other artists duet. I think
Right.
Dolly Parton did one with him.
Bloody hell, that's quite a boon.
But opening for him is, of course, the famous Austrian singer Falco.
Oh, Amadeus. Is that Falco?
Come and rock me, Amadeus.
Great. And so I'll read the names off the list, welcoming people in so they can get settled in, listen to some Falco tunes, grab a Schwarzenegger off Jess. And as you come in, Dave's your hype man. He's going to hype you right up. Dave, of course, needs his own hype person.
Like he's in
and
my contract.
Jess plays that role.
yes.
Do you answer to hype man or hype person?
Hype man. I think hype man is like a gender neutral term.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got a few in this week.
Great.
7. We got 7, Dave.
Fuck. That's right. Momentum. We can do
You
this.
really have to keep me up, Jess, because without
Yeah,
you,
we got
I am
this.
but a man.
Yep. Let's do it.
All right, from Leeds in Great Britain, it's James Underwood.
Let me lead you to the dance floor.
Yes.
From Coventry in Great Britain, it's Troy Vinton Brown.
Whoa, you've been vindicated with Vinton Brown.
Yes. Woo.
Woo!
Again from Leeds in Great Britain, it's Lewis Foulstone.
Ooh, let me lead you to the bar.
Yeah.
Also, we're not coming Foulstone tonight.
From Burke in Virginia, I believe. VA, it's Maximilian Duke.
Oof.
Oh, well, the Duke is here.
Yes.
The Duke is here.
Matt, we need momentum. Keep it
Okay,
going.
from Carmichael in California, the United States, is Daniel McMeans.
Oh, this guy ain't McMeans. He's McNice.
From
69.
Dallas, Texas in the US, it's Manny Garza.
There's not many Gazas. Like Manny Garza.
Hopefully, Manny Garza strips down to his bare essentials.
Stick to the script, mate.
From a Red Beach
Yes,
This guy
but
thinks he can do it.
in Auckland,
it's not that easy, is it, pal?
New Zealand.
It ain't that easy.
It's Stephen Brown.
Oh, well, the night. It was, you know, I wanted to paint the town red, but now I want to paint it brown.
Got a Brown Town, all right.
Like I said, it's not as easy as it looks, mate.
Honestly, he gives you so much shit, and then he tries, and it's fucking crickets.
Brown Town. What the fuck? Gee, what are we doing in this club? Christ. It's a fun place.
You hate shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that all?
That wasn't a shit-related thing.
Oh, right, sorry. I thought you were trying to say that he was going to have diarrhea.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Go to Brown Town, he's got to
I
shit
don't know, it's just a
himself.
rhyming thing.
No.
Words have
I
meaning.
thought I was building on what you said.
Words have meaning. Why do we have to remind you
Yeah.
of that week after week?
Things you say
said
have
we're gonna paint-
consequences.
You said we're going to paint the town brown. I said, yeah, let's go to Brown Town. I thought I was getting
you're
involved.
not helping.
Just wanted to be involved. Sick of sitting on the sidelines. You two getting to hype each other.
All right,
Look
come
what
on.
happens when you try.
Fine, you can.
Oh, no.
You ruin everything.
no.
You do the next one and we'll give you feedback.
Yeah, go on. Do the next one. Do it all yourself. Here we go.
That was the last one.
All right.
Oh, right, let me make up a name.
Here we go.
All right, please come on down. Matt Stewart.
Ah, who knew it? It's our man, Matt Stewart.
Pretty good, actually.
Well, that brings us to the end of the episode.
Damn it. You really showed me up there.
By using a thing he's used multiple times
Damn
about
it.
his own name.
I mean, I would have said Shat Stewart.
Yeah.
Shat Stewart. I am better at this than you. So that brings us to the end of the episode. Jess, where can people find us?
They can find us at our houses.
No, they
I
can-
will tell you our addresses. The boys won't tell me theirs.
No.
You can find us at Do Go On Pod across all social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at Do Go On Pod, at gmail.com, and also dogoonpod.com or patreon.com/dogoonpod.
And you can support us at patreon.com/dogoonpod. Jess might have said that I zoned out.
Yeah, you do.
That's literally the last thing I said.
Oh, one more thing. You can support us on Patreon.
Emails at gmail. With
Don't ask if you're
at
just going to fucking
episode-
recap it. Don't make me do it for nothing.
Anyway, Dave, boot us home.
Yeah, Dave, tell us where people can find us on Patreon.
Did we say our website? dogoonpod.com. Of course, there's a link there to click to Patreon. But if you need to type it in manually, it's www.patreon.com/dogoonpod. Great. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week with another episode. But until then, I'll say thank you and goodbye.
Later.
Bye.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates. I mean, if you want. It's up to you.